Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live. Peace.
Hello, TBV Patreon family. It's been a bit. I know the second episode of Standing 8 Count was released a little bit late, but I wanted to help out with that and sort of make up for that. And I wanted to bring a special episode. And it was supposed to be more special because I was going to have, and Rob doesn't know this, he's going to find out right now. And, you know, everyone not finding out right now. Robbie Hearns is on the line. Shout out to Robbie Hearns. I was going to have a social media standoff between Robbie Hearns and Alex Lemon as our two social media directors. One giving their top UK prospects, one giving their top US prospects. That, unfortunately, is not happening because Alex Lemon cannot make it. But we have Robbie Hearns. Robbie Hearns, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, Matt. And yourself?
I am fantastic. I hope you can stick around a little bit after this, and we can do something a little bit separate, and we can do a spoiler filled review of Star Wars Last Jedi. I feel like that'd be fun. And that'd be separate for the Patreon family. But we're gonna delve right into the shit, and I know I told you to have a little bit of a homework assignment. Top 5 UK prospects with a few honorable mentions. Before we get down to your top 5 and really delve into the next generation of UK boxers, give me some honorable mentions that may end up being on that list in a few years' time, but may not be on the list right now in 2017.
Okay. Well, my honourable mentions they're actually two of them are gonna square off against each other in the beginning of next year. It's Lawrence Okoli, the cruiserweight, who is 7-0 with 6 knockouts, heavy puncher. I think in his first 4 fights, he just were first round KOs, and he's going to be going up against Isaac Chamberlain. The hashtag British Beef, a bit of a grudge match between these two. They've gone at it backstage at various venues and on social media, and fair play to both of them. Young in their career, they're going to put their zeros on the line and take each other on. But again, Chamberlain, cruiserweight, 9-0. They're going to be like the main event at the O2. So props to those two for getting it on. Another mention is one of my personal favourites. I don't know if he quite makes my top 5, but Anthony Fowler, the Machine, they call him.
Wow,
he's 4-0.
Very quickly, I just want to say I am shocked you were not biased and you did not put him on your top 5 list. I was expecting him to end up on that top 5 list, but he is one of those guys that could be a top 5 UK boxer in, let's say, 3 years' time if he pans out correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting big things from him in the coming year. But yeah, he's 4-0 with 3 KOs. He actually made his debut on the Brooke Spence card. He's had a lot of comparisons with Carl Froch. Some might agree that's a good thing, some might not. But he's working really well with David Caldwell at the Caldwell gym, and he's like a workaholic. He's maybe not got the skills of some of the other of my top 5 that you'll hear shortly, but he's definitely got the work ethic. He's a Commonwealth gold medalist. He's captained Team GB before, and as you'll find out, a lot of the UK prospects have all come from Team GB. You know, there's a big turnover crossing over to the pros, and it's an exciting time. But Anthony Fowler, definitely one for the future, and working really hard towards big things.
What weight class is Anthony Fowler again?
Fowler, he is 154, I think. He's we call it a super welterweight. Super welterweight, is it? Super welter.
Super welterweight, or light middleweight, or junior middleweight. You might hear it.
In that ballpark. I mean, at these stages of their careers, I'm not sure everything's in stone as to their weight. For certain fights, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it seems to be a big thing in the UK. These guys are fighting." They're all fighting bums, and the minute they get a bit of a test, they're no good. They're not going to be anything. They're not as good hype as everybody thought. So they can't win, these guys. I really feel for young prospects, but I think certain fights the weight's been slightly different for each fight, but he's settling around that light middleweight, I think.
Any more honorable mentions?
No, I went with the Fowler, Okoli, and Chamberlain.
Who do you think wins out of the Okoli and Chamberlain fight?
It's a tricky one. Chamberlain's more. He's like I say, he's 9-0. I don't think his KO ratio is as high. I think it's like 3 KOs. And Okoli's just a big puncher, but I'd say Okoli's very much just more raw talent and just wants to tear it up. So it's definitely going to be a good domestic tear up, and I'll probably side with Okoli because I think if he catches you, you're in trouble. So I'm going to go with the bigger puncher.
Now give me your number 5 on the top 5 list.
Okay, I've got Anthony Yarde.
Ooh.
Yep. I'll be honest. I mean, I had a little chat with Coach Midi about my 5, and I did actually bump Fowler from my 5 and swap for Yarde because Yarde, I'm still slightly not completely sold with him. I think there may be a little issue of just really believing his the hype around him a bit, and perhaps taking it whether he's taking it a little bit easy when he's in the light heavyweight division. He's 14-0 with 13 knockouts. He's pretty serious. He's got the WBO European title, and I think now the WBO Intercontinental title. But I'd just like to see him in some stiffer tests, and I'm not 100% sold on him just yet. But purely on his numbers and what he's doing, I think he deserves to make my top 5.
He definitely has some hype around him. Regardless of the criticisms that I think are there of his style and his competition, obviously at this point, you could say that for a lot of these guys because they are prospects. A lot of these prospects don't have contenders or champions on their resume yet, and that makes them prospects, obviously. But Yarde does have a ton of hype around him, a ton of industry push around him. They're definitely gearing him up for something in the future, whatever that is. Yeah,
I mean, he's a little further on than a lot of these other guys that are in my prospects. He's, like I say, he's got 14 fights under his belt now with the 13 KOs. He seems to either he's really impressive or he just finds a way. So that, that's a good trait to have. But I'm not 100% sold on him just yet. But I still tilt him into my top 5 there.
Number 4,
Conor Benn.
Ooh,
the son of a legend. A lot of pressure on his young shoulders. Even though he just
went to war in his last fight, and it's competition level wasn't the best.
No, but he's got very, very limited amateur background. Hardly much background there at all. But I really like the kid. He's got obviously the legend in his dad, Nigel Benn, the Dark Destroyer, as something to live up to. And all credit to Nigel Benn. He's really taken a step back. He's not like, I'd say, like the Chris Eubank Sr. and Eubank Jr. scenario, where he's really, there every second and pushing it and whatever. He's not got that as a pressure. But, every fight that we see him on, Nigel Benn always comes up, the son of a legend. It's always there. So it's a lot of pressure on young shoulders, but he's 11-0, 8 knockouts. He loves. He's like he wants to get in there and just throw hands like a Mexican. He wants to stand there. But before this really lively 6th rounder he had to close out the year, where he got caught in the first round, he was caught a little bit square on. It wasn't like a big punch, but he was caught square on, and he went down. Then he went down again. So he had it all to do, but credit to him, he stuck around. His opponent was, I urge anyone to go and look that fight up on YouTube. It was a tremendous fight in the York Hall where the crowd's on top of you. The atmosphere was crazy.
It was one of the best fights of the year, I would say.
Yeah, it was. For a 6th rounder, it was fantastic. But he got the job done. Some say it was a bit harsh on the opponent there. It got given quite a wide score, but Ben came back with 2 knockdowns on his own, and the bow kind of saved the guy in the final round there. He had to throw Conor Benn in the corner. It's quite quite a finish, because I think Conor Benn had seen that he'd hurt the guy and was ready to finish him off. But he hits quite hard. And yeah, another welterweight there. So I see if he can get back the 2 previous fights, because he made his US debut, of course, on the Jacobs card with Arias.
Even though that
he
was
boxed
on
superbly.
TV.
He boxed really well. And the last couple of fights he was patient, but this time he got in with this guy and he just wanted to stand in the wheelhouse and just throw with this guy, and it proved to be almost costly. But I still put him in my fight. He's exciting to watch.
Who's his trainer?
Very raw.
Do you know who his trainer is?
His trainer? No, I'm sorry. I'm not sure his trainer. I know he's in and around quite often. You always see a lot of Joshua around him in their gym there. But yeah, I'm not sure on his trainer. Oh, it's oh, my brain's gone. Yeah, forgive me. My brain's gone.
It's
I just
okay.
remembered it,
we
and then it went.
You. We forgive you. It's
no,
okay.
I'm good.
You're old. It's okay. We forgive you.
Yeah.
You're number 3 ranked prospect.
Yeah. Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Ooh, some people may put him in their number 1, though. That's interesting that you put him a little far back. I'm very curious who your number 2 and number 1 are. But tell me about Mr. Dubois, the heavyweight prospect tearing it up.
Yeah, he's Frank Warren's possible golden goose, I think. He's a scary power. He's 6-0, 6 knockouts. And if people want to check out the TBV YouTube channel, there's some conversation with him and some training stuff where he talks about knocking out Joshua in sparring with the big gloves on and the headgear and what have you. So he's got some scary power. He's a young guy. Obviously, we want to see him tested, but people, they feel when they get touched by him, and you can almost see it in the opponent. Like, yeah, I don't want to be here. This kid hits real hard, and yeah, he's definitely one to watch. I mean, he seems to be with the Frank Warren thing. It's Dubois, Yard. They all get put out on every card, and they all do the business. So yeah, it's just. I saw something on Boxing Scene where they said BJ Flores is wanting some of Daniel Dubois. So
I saw that. I was like, BJ Flores, don't do that. Come on, man. Do you want to die? Like,
yeah, I think there's just looking for some money maybe before he
now, do you
checks
think
out.
There are some people out there, and when I say people, I mean boxing fans in the UK specifically, that think Dubois shows better talent at, let's say, 6-0 than Joshua showed at 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, his record states, and you see some of his knockouts, you just think he's in there and he's absolutely 100% blasting people out. But he's got, the last fight I think was against Darch. He boxed his way in before he let the real bombs go. He got behind the jab a bit, and it just wasn't, like crash bang wallop, go in there. I'm not afraid of anyone, and I'll just get hit and just land my own punches. He boxed. So, yeah, there's definitely, more than just brute strength and raw power there. He's got a boxing brain. So I'll be interested to see where he can go from this 6-0 and start getting some stiffer tests and what he can do against those opponents. But again, prospects, and we'll see how they get on.
Your number 2 ranked prospect in the UK. Yeah,
this is probably going to be one that many of the Americans maybe think, who the fuck is that guy? But we'll see. Joe Cordina, the Welsh Wizard.
Ooh. And you know what? Hold on, very quickly. That is so perfect for this show, because this is a hipster show. This is a hardcore show, and Cordina is 100% a hipster pick for a prospect, especially your number 2 ranked prospect of 2017. And I have to admit, I love the pick. I love that. I love that positioning. I think Cordina shows a ton of talent. So tell the people that may not know about this amazing prospect right now in the UK.
Yeah, he's another one out of Team GB. Stepped across. He's now 6-0, 5 KOs, lightweight. Tony Bellew raves about this kid. He absolutely loves it. He thinks he's the best of all the prospects. Now, obviously, Tony Bellew's in the game and he's been a good amateur and whatever. So I'm not just going to dismiss Tony Bellew's opinion, but I've seen it for myself. He loves throwing. Once he starts throwing his hands, he's slick. He switches from the body up top back to the body. Just loves throwing hands. And he's a real talent. Great head on his shoulders. A lot of these young talents, they're apart from Yard and Dubois, they're all with Matchroom. They're all being, I think, guided brilliantly. They're all getting put out, 4 or 5 times a year, maybe 6, some of them, especially like Fowler. But Joe Cordina, as soon as he's on a card, I think, oh, great, I can't wait to watch. And I just wish like a lot of our cards could get seen a lot easier over in the States and just get to see some of our young talent. Because I know I see the shows, I see the people in the chat. If anything ever gets mentioned, some of the UK guys go, oh, did you see Joe Cordina? And people are like, who gives a fuck? People don't care, whatever. But I think you should care, because there's some talent all around the world, I'm sure, but we've got some really young talent coming through, and they need to be seen. And hopefully, as these prospects progress, you'll get to see a lot more of them. But yeah, Joe Cordina, definitely one to watch. Just super slick. Like I say, switches it up, body set up top, and he likes fast hands and throwing them plenty. So one to watch.
Cordina is one of those guys that he's never probably going to get the same sort of shine that some of these other prospects are going to get, and that's mainly due to his style. He is very methodical in his output, I would say. And even compared to, let's say, like a Josh Kelly, who has a very similar style, Kelly mixes it up a little bit better offensively to where it's more appeasing to casuals. Cordina is almost like that Lee Selby early on, where he's just outboxing everyone so easily, and he's doing it on his terms. That's actually maybe putting off the casual fan in some aspect. But if you're listening to this show, you're a Patreon member of the Boxing Voice, and you're hardcore, but you may not have heard of Cordina, especially if you're a U.S. boxing fan. Look him up on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching this right now, it's on the account. I have highlights right now playing somewhere on the screen of Cordina, some knockouts playing from Cordina, so you can see what he does. He is a tremendous talent, but I think he's never going to get the same push as some other guys. He's not as outspoken as other guys. His style is very... It's for the boxing connoisseur, in a sense.
Yeah, the purist.
It really isn't for the casual just bleed fan, and that's fine. But again, this show is not meant for the casual just bleed fan. So I love that. I love that pick, and he definitely deserves in top 5 mentioning. And I love that top 2 spot. So, Mr. Robbie Hearns, the number 1 spot.
Well, you did just mention him. It's the pretty boy Josh Kelly.
Tell me about it. I mean, tell the people about him. I should say I know about him. But tell the people.
Trained by Adam Booth. Real exciting. I think if any of you Americans haven't seen this guy fight, I think you'd be in for a treat. And I think he could cross over quite well. I think he'd be exciting for you guys to watch. So he's 5-0, 4 KOs. Again, welterweight. He's like, I've seen him in fights where he just seems like bored. Like he'll do something and then like, I don't know. It just seems everything is in his time. Again, it's like there's been. I know people will just laugh at this, but people have been asking him like about being the UK Lomachenko, because his head movement, he's very much doesn't get hit. You try and land a punch, his head's not there. He keeps moving, bobbing. It's very, I don't know about unique style, but his hands are usually like down by his side, and he's goading the opponent in with putting his face there.
Very slick style that is both.
Yeah.
I mean, it's these, and you mentioned it. Team GB, Team Great Britain. The amateur system that it produces. This generation has a specific style right now in the UK that is very different than previous styles of UK Euro boxing. That is, I'm using air quotes here. That is that has that negative stereotype of, let's say, like a Liam Smith, the high guard. Like you know exactly what I mean, and every boxing fan knows what I mean when I say this. But this generation of prospects do not have that. The Anthony Fowlers, the Cordinas, the Kellys, they have a very unique style that they all share, and they've all sort of adapted. that is like a Lomachenko, that is like a Roy Jones almost-esque. That is a very slick style that is geared upon reflexes and athleticism. I think for US fans, they should love this style, in my opinion.
I think so. I think out of all of them, I think as well Conor Benn in the right fight in America, I think could make some fans, stand up and oh wow, check this kid out. But Josh Kelly,
Conor Benn's naturally exciting too, and he has that power.
Yeah. I mean, they want to throw hands, and maybe that's been a change, like you say. Older UK fighters in the past just haven't wowed with their style, but this current crop it's an exciting time. And like with Josh Kelly, I'm sure if you can find it, Matt, when you with the highlights there, when it's he must be there. You've got to find the knockout where he just basically chops the guy down with about nine or 10 straight left hooks. He just bang, 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 just repeated it. It's like a machine gun going off, and you just can gradually see the opponent drop. It's crazy. He's super skilled.
It's very unorthodox.
His last fight,
it's very unorthodox. It's things that coaches in the gym do not teach you to do. You would never hear a coach teach an amateur or novice to throw 5 lead hooks like that in a row.
No.
You would never hear that.
I mean,
they do it.
He hurt the guy, and he had his back to the rope, and he just let these. It was like 9. I think it's 9 or 10. Just left hooks, bang, 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 bang. The guy was trying to shell up, but he's got some good power. But his last fight, his opponent literally ran. If people thought Billy Joe Saunders ran and whatever, this guy was sprinting. Then he just did not want to stand anywhere near stationary in the ring, or he just went round and round and round. And Kelly, he was pursuing him. Maybe he can cut the ring off a little easier. I think he just wanted some rounds, but he got to his guy, and the referee stopped it. But very exciting times. I mean, social media wise, I mean, you've got Anthony Fowler, 4-0 fighter, and he's got 115,000 followers on Instagram. Big support for these guys, I think the lowest might be Cordina, and surprisingly Dubois. They've got like 30,000 followers.
To be honest, Dubois sort of has a bland personality from what I've seen.
Yeah, he's very quiet, considering the animal that he can be in the ring. He's like very quiet outside.
He's a UK heavyweight Terence Crawford in some ways.
Yeah, I know, definitely good comparison. He's just not. I don't know whether he's not quite confident enough in front of the camera with a microphone.
Especially compared to like Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard is very charismatic in front of a camera, and he loves being in front of a camera. You can tell.
Yeah.
There's a very different, natural ability in that way.
Yeah, I mean, Fowler's built his support up on being super interactive with the fans. He all day. I don't know. Maybe sometimes his account, but there's many times it's him, and he's just super interactive. Virtually every message he'll pop a reply or a like or a retweet or whatever, or a comment, and he's super accessible. But yeah, they're all there, these prospects, and there's a few more, but at the moment we'll let them get on with their career, and perhaps we can do this in a year's time and look at how this fight's gone, and maybe a current, at the time, what the new crop is looking like. But I can't wait to hear maybe about American prospects. But maybe that'll be another show or whatever. But this is it's been fun.
Oh, it's been a blast, Rob. I've always loved talking to you, and it's always been a great time. Yes, the U.S. prospects is going to be the next segment, so there's going to be a little transition here in a bit for you listeners, and then I'm going to delve into it. Yes, Solo Dolo, Alex Lemon did make some suggestions. They may or may not appear on either the top 5 or honorable mentions, but I will break that down in a bit. Rob, give out any social media or anything that the people may not know so they can follow one of our amazing social media directors and associate producers of the show.
Well, you can pretty much catch me now on Twitter on TBV, the Boxing Voice. I pretty much live on there because it's nice having 15.6 thousand followers rather than my 20 odd. So that's always nice, and I get a lot more responses on there. But yeah, it's Rob Weatherall on IG. But yeah, it's been great making my Standing 8 debut and my on-air debut, whatever them calls on the show. So thanks for that, Matt.
Oh, no problem. And hey, I mean, this is the first cameo appearance from somebody else on Standing 8 Count. So hey, you got the invite before Nestor Gibbs, before Doomsday. You know, you got on before Enrique, even though Enrique was technically invited before you, I'll be honest. But he didn't get on. He didn't get on. You did. You know, like, hey, that's a big accomplishment, man. You know, congrats.
I'm truly honored. I'm truly honored.
It's not every day you get on this show. Hello, Patreon family. I know. I did say throughout the episode we're going to do a 2-part segment, but that second part is coming out tomorrow. I wanted to give Robbie Hearns and the UK prospects enough of their shine and sort of give them a spotlight as well, give them a day to themselves. Tomorrow will be the US prospects, their top 5 and the honorable mentions of them. And also Monday, I believe I might drop a special Christmas episode of Standing 8 Counts. It's going to be Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to be honest. And it's going to be a complete breakdown of the New Year's Eve Japanese card. That is a 2-day event in Japan. So I'll break down all those championship fights. I believe the final count on championship fights for that event is 5 world title fights. Yes, 5 world championship fights that are fully legit. No IBO belts, no WBA regular belts. No, full-on legit titles out of the 4 major sanctioning bodies. So we're going to break that down as well. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for that and for either Monday or Tuesday for a special Christmas edition of the New Year's Eve breakdown. Peace. What is up, TBV family? Yes, YouTube has been cutting funding to their channels as of late, and with net neutrality going through its process, the internet is changing. If you want to keep your favorite channel intact, coming up with tons of content, and plus get hours and hours of extra content, head over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to become a member of the TBV family and help support the channel. Peace.